Hello, good afternoon, all my students. Welcome again to the class of business communication and negotiation. I think yesterday was quite fun. I got some emails from all of you about the talks that I gave to you last week. However, I thought that many of you have great writing style, and some of you also need improvement. However, I think that by the time after we finishing this class, you will enhance your writing skill. And this week, our topic is still about writing. I know that for some person, writing skill might be boring because not many people have the ability to write. Some of you, I believe, have more natural ability to speak or present, but don't worry. We will go to the presentation, like oral and speaking skill, um, after a mid semester. So after mid semester, you will be able to explore your speaking skill, negotiation skill, and have more interactive class, I think. But today, I think having an ability to write a cover letter also is very important. That yesterday we learned about how to write a proper email to your professor or lecturer or customer as well. Today, we will learn about how to write a cover letter. What is a cover letter? Cover letter basically is something that you need to send uh, to your employer. Okay, so we discuss about the professional environment. So after you finish the study in your university, I assume that the majority of you will apply for a job. To apply for a job, you need to write a cover letter and curriculum vitae. As a curriculum vitae may be a much more common for all of you, cover letter might be sounds unfamiliar. What is it? Actually, it's a letter which will be delivered all together with CV. So, it why don't we need to write a cover letter? Why a CV is not enough? Remember, in the professional communication, everything should be professional. Sending your CV without a proper cover letter is not professional. Okay, so I will let you know how to write proper cover letter. I assume it will be very beneficial for you in the future. You can use it to apply for your job, or maybe you want to apply for a master a degree. Maybe it will be useful in the future. So wait, see, and listen what would I present to you later on. I will remind you about our last week material that writing. In writing, you have to first identify your primary audience, determine your audience size and geographic, determine audience composition, and coach audience member level of understanding. So, the first key is you need to understand your audience. So, in our case today, our audience is your future employer, your future human relation in company A. Maybe some of you want to work in a bank. Maybe some of you want to work as a consultant in consultant agency. Maybe some of you want to work in the government office. Maybe some of you want to get a master degree. Maybe some of you want to work in research company. I don't know. There's a many chance for you to do in the future. However, remember your employer. You have to be able to represent yourself in front of your for a future employer. Be at remember the ethic of the writing. Remember that you have to write something formal but not stuffy, so in the middle, of the formal language. Do not be too formal, do not be too informal, so in the middle of it. Or uh, okay, as we discussed last week, you can check our discussion last week. Next is about the most common media. Okay, so I just want to remind you that we have like many medium to communicate, like oral medium, written medium, and visual medium. So we will learn about written medium in print and also digital. In the few years ago, people sent their CV all together with printed cover letter, but nowadays, I think it will be like very normal people to send curriculum vitae with cover letter through email. So today we will learn about how to use a written medium in digital channel. So, what is the factor to consider? Remember, in the writing skill, richness is a very important. You have to be able to convey the message through more than informational cue. You have to be able to facilitate feedbacks, and you have to be able to establish personal focus. Remember that in writing, you have to aim to communicate many things as possible, but you have to remember that you cannot write everything that you want to say, because in a writing cover letter and also writing an email, it must have to be able to be seen in the first few, only one page, for example, one slide. That's all, no more than that. Because if you write too long, maybe people will skip your email because it's too long. They don't want to read it through. Remember how to write in the factor of formality. How formal is formal, how informal is informal. You need to gain this skill by practice, I think. Media and channel limitation. I just like remind you that we will work with emails. So the limitation is do not write too long because maybe people just will skip your email. Urgency. You have to speak. What is the aim of this letter? Because people don't want to read until the end of your paragraph to understand what is the meaning of this, what you really want. They want to know what is it immediately, even in since on the subject of email. Remember about audience preferences, about security and privacy. It would be like very important for them. Audience preferences means how we address them, Mr., Mrs., Miss, Professor, Doctor, and etc. and etc. Or if you don't know their name, you might be say that um, the officer of like human relation officer, or ma'am, or like head of company A, for example, something like that. And for the security and privacy, do not try to CZ or a BCC or email, because it's in the cover letter or application. It's not common to CC or BCC or email, for example, like that. And before you start to write, you have to remember that making a cover letter means you have to decide what you want to say at the very beginning. Do not try to write it and then while you are writing, you try to know what you want to write. It will not work. Try to make four parts: introduction, body paragraph, and conclusion. So I assume it would be like three or four paragraphs for the cover letter. The first paragraph might be about introduce who you really are and state your purpose. In the email letter, it will be very important that you state your purpose at the beginning of your letter. And then in the body paragraph, you can fulfill the topic or claims or evidence that you want to mention to them, like show off yourself, who you really are, what your experience about, where you graduate from, something like that. If you think one body paragraph is enough, so just leave it like that. But if you think the second paragraph might be good for your additional information, you can add that. And at last, you have to conclude about your purpose again. So try to sum up and restate your purpose again, and also try to relate to broader context, and then close it. I have a tips to create a cover letter or many other letters. It doesn't really necessarily a cover letter. It's to create a mind map. How to create a mind map? It's basically just you try to sketch like in a blank paper about what you really want to say. You can say that the main idea is like you want to state your purpose. What is your purpose? Okay. For example, you can say that purpose is to apply for a position as assistant manager in company A, for example. And in the body paragraph, you want to mention your qualification. Qualification number one, for example, you graduated from University A, which with say like a GPA 4.00, and you are win several competition like blah 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 blah. So talking about academic qualification. And second, talking about your qualification, it may be like organizational experience. You join several organizations, such as like you're head of students organization in your university. You join the committee of uh, management competition in your university, and etc. and etc. And third, you might say that you have another qualification because you were an intern in company B, where you got the experience, like real experience. It might be beneficial for them. So that's already three qualification that you want to mention. Try to make a map. So the like for example, this map, the first one, like the blue one, is about who you really are, and the orange one is about your first qualification. The second one is about your second qualification and organizational. The pink one may be your qualification in the internship, for example. You can also mention that maybe you join a master exchange. I'm sorry, exchange program to university, blah blah blah. So you have like global experience. It might be good as well. And for example, in the blue one, you might say its conclusion. So what you want to say in the conclusion, something like that. Just the point. So you don't have to write a long one, but just write a point about the thoughts that you want to say in your letter. Actually, it will really help you while you are writing the cover letter in the end. You can make colorful mind map like this. However, I also this one is also nice with colors, and also I see someone using this kind of mind map. It's okay as well. This one with you like literally draw your mind map. This one is about water. It might be like too complicated for a cover letter, or I just like want to give you the example of it. This is the example of the another mind map. However, I think this time management is mind mapping about an essay, like a very serious essay. So it would be more complicated. But however, that I want to put attention in here that basically, mind map will help you about organize the things that you want to say, the point that you want to explain, and it help you to give boundary that you don't write all over the place. Sometimes, if you try to remember yourself, like um, you want to say A. However, by the time, because you met the people, you see the environment, the ambience is a very relaxing. Your aim to speak about A will be changed to B, C, D, E, F, for example. However, you forget to mention about the A. So, mind map trying to keep boundaries about the things that you want to say, the things that you want to write. It helps you a lot. So, I want to write about your story in the mind map. Try to write your story. It will be like really help you because actually in the cover letter you just like mention about where you have been, where you are now, and where you want to be in the future. Who you are now is basically you are a fresh graduate, for example. You just like graduate for your from your university and now you are looking for a job. However, you have several experience, for example, as a head of students organization, you get like high GPA, you experience exchange program, you experience as intern in a company, something like that. And where you want to be, you want to be the assistant manager for company A because you think this company is really relevant with your background and your dream job. It has like very global networking. You like to networking with many people from around the world. It has the best product in the world. You can say like anything because it's your dream, something like that. So, okay, from talking about the mind map and talking about who you are now, you can try now to describe, try to write or draw your mind map in a blank paper. Just give yourself like around 5 minutes or 10 minutes maximum. You know what you want to say. Okay, so I will give you an example about, for example, I want to say about who I am, like where I have been. I graduated from, for example, UGM, communication science, and mm, like something like this. Okay, this is what I want to put on the mind map, the point that I want to say. And I have several years experience in a multinational company, something like that. So there are 2 points that I want to uh, put tension on my cover letter. However, I would say that I am a lecturer in who lecturing YJ who teach digital communication because this is mainly what I teach most of the time. Okay, so what I want to be, for example, I want to apply for research position. It's work as well. Okay, so researchers place is a work position as well. Apply for research position in, for example, in Monash University because I'm now applying there as well for a research position. So you can see that mind map it's not merely you have to draw something. You can also write like point about the things that you want to put attention, you want to underline, you want to bold in your cover letter. So I will give you like 5 until 10 minutes to do that. Start from now. Okay. Fast forward. I think that it's already like 5 or 10 minutes. I hope that you already have your um mind map. But if not, you can just like pause and then continue when you already finish that. Okay, now I want to explain after you describe what you really want in your mind map. Now it's time to write. Okay, so the basic writing is almost the same with the things that we learned yesterday. It always have the recipient names. It always have dear blah 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 blah. It always has the body paragraph and it always has the signature. Okay, so what I want to show to you is someone who want to apply as customer service representative. You don't have to make what is using. This one is letterhead. I'm sorry, letterhead, or in Bahasa we name it kop surat. You don't have to make this one. However, as a company, I would be like really give you more more I would be like more attract to you if you have like decent letter like this. If not, it's okay. So for this one, the letterhead is optional. You don't have to do that. However, from here, it's really important about the date. Today's date is September 25th, 2020, Yogyakarta. And who is the name of the person that you want to address the letter about? I'm sorry, if we use email, you don't have to use the date. You don't have to put the date. However, if it's in a hard copy letter, you have to put the dates. Don't forget to put the full address of the company that you want to apply. It's common. It's really common. So put something like this. So for example, head of company XZZ in Babarsari Street number 40 Yogyakarta 55283, for example, something like that. Then continue, dear Mr. Mrs. or Mrs. and the name. If you know that he is a he, so you just like say Mr. If you don't know her name, you can say like dear HR department, for example, like that. So you aim for the department or the position if you don't know the name. So I am writing to you with regards to the recent customer service representative position that I saw advertised on. Mention, where did you see it? In the website, in the newspaper, in the magazine? Mention it. It's okay. And uh, this one is represent about the purpose of your letter. Like directly, you want to do this. Okay, don't make it too long, blah 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 blah, something like that. No. And this one you see in here, this one is body paragraph 1 and this one is body paragraph 2. In body paragraph 1, he said that about his experience. Like, I have more than 5 years of part-time work experience as a customer service representative. So the experience he already have 5 years experience, that a lot, and have a successful track record of problem solving, communication, decision making skill. I am confident that I am the best candidate for your vacancy. My present position, so who you are now. My present position of telephone sales representative at Palmetto Carriage has taught me the significance of clear communication and friendly service over the phone. In my current role, I resolve customer problem, give sales pitch, and take accurate notes of conversation with patrons. I have received excellent performance evaluation from my manager, and my contribution have been formally recognized. So he got recognition, maybe award or best employee of the month, something like that. So you have to mention that. If you are a fresh graduate, you can just mention your GPA, the organization, or you win some competition, something like that, to make you have like more experience or uh, better than other person. Second paragraph. I have also worked as bellhop at Charleston Place Hotel, where I successfully incorporate my solid communication skill to effectively interact with a vast team of people, while simultaneously building rapport with visitors and guests. My duties also include taking care of physically challenged people. I demonstrated impeccable passion, care, and support while serving those with special needs. Should you find interest in my application, it's the conclusion, so you close it. Then I will be available for an interview at your convenience. I have attached my resume and encourage you to contact me. And then you put a signature. Okay, that is the example. If you want to apply for a job, like I think this example is quite decent if you want to use it. However, I also attach several other example, like this one. It's not really clear. However, it's almost it has like almost same type with the first cover letter. Like you can see that they use the name, the address, the dear about the what is the purpose of this cover letter, and you can see that he used so body paragraph like three body paragraph and then a conclusion and closing. I think it's almost the same. You can also use that example to incorporate with your cover letter. These also quite nice example. The first one is written by David Walker. You can see in here that wait. Okay, this one is the name and address of David Walker, and this one is the one that he want to address on. So for whom is this letter? However, it's not say who is the person, so I will say it's better you have the department, for example, or the name of the person, for example, and using to whom it might concern. It's too formal for a cover letter, so I would suggest that I should suggest to you that do not use to whom it might concern. It might be relevant if you use it for a letter of recommendation from your previous company or your previous lecturer. However, in the cover letter, do not use it. Just like put dear Mr. blah 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 blah, something like that. However, in here you can see that he used several body paragraph. However, it's like too short, too short. So I would say the previous example is better than this. However, you can see that he also put tension about his previous experience, 8-year association with Clark Sport. So, and then who he is now? He is a sales manager, and what he learned in his present position, and what he wants for the future. So remember, in your cover letter, you have to be able to express 3 points: who have you been, who you are now, and who you want to be in the future. 3 points that you have to elaborate in your cover letter will be very good. And then in the end, put conclusion and also signature. You can see in here the second letter also incorporate the same type example that I mentioned before. This one is the sender. This one is who for whom this letter for. Here is the date. I would say that the date is not appropriate in here. You can put over here or over here, but do not put in here because you have to say like directly to dear Mr. Sujono, for example. However, the wording that she used is quite good. You can see in here. I'm writing to you to express my interest in the librarian position currently available at Library of blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's good. She state the purpose of the letter, and she put also more reason why she has to be chosen. For example, I believe that I am excellent for this position given my extensive background in library management. So that's one point. Um, and she also put more underline on the quality that she has. For example, in here you can see in the job description for the position that library of blah 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 posted, there were some requirements that stood out to me. One, must possess the ability to support a library environment by maintaining library system and managing staff. Required to be able school efficiency through support of system and staff. Exceptional professional interpersonal skill. So she will say that she has the ability. She possesses the ability. She put also her experience. In my previous role, I successfully managed a library of over 150 collections using a system. Okay, so one other reason why you have to hire her. Okay, and here she put a conclusion to close the letter. I believe that after you have reviewed my application and curriculum vitae, you will see that I possess an excellent skill. Wow, that's too overconfident. However, some other people say that that's okay to be overconfident in your cover letter because you have to push them and show them that you are the best. That's fine as well. If not, you can say you can using this type of example from David Walker about the future work that you want to have. And do not forget to put thank you and then signature. I think that is the point. Do not forget all the point that I already mentioned in here, and you can use also several example in here to make your cover letter. I hope that's quite clear enough about my explanation in here. But I want to check whether you are really understand what I explained to you about writing a cover letter. So my next task for you is you have to create a cover letter to apply to your dream job and company. You can imagine that now you already graduate from your university. You can put like many imagination that you want. Like you do the program action, you do internship and something like that. And I think now we learn about the traditional one, writing in a hard copy. So you have to write in Microsoft Word. Try to put everything in one page only and make it in a PDF. Do not remember, do not send your cover letter in a Word document, always in PDF. It's formal because sometimes if I open the Microsoft Word file in other laptop, it will be like jumping here and there all around the place. So I don't want to have that in my email. So make sure that you send it on PDF file. And remember all the tips. I think the tips you already there. You already learned about writing skill last week. Even so, I think two meetings already, so I think that's quite enough. And this practice will polish your skill. Before next week, we will continue to next topic about making your resume or curriculum vitae. So I think that's all for me today. You can rewatch again if you think I speak like too fast or not clear enough. However, I really believe that you could do this task in a proper way. So that's all from me. Thanks for your attention, and I hope you will enjoy to write your cover letter. Bye bye, and see you again.